Danielle, and I have a lifelong passion for cooking. I'm a wife, a mother of 4, and a strong advocate for a vegan, plant-based, organic lifestyle. Over the last 10 years, I've been honing in my vegan, plant-based skills, and I'm here to bring them to you in my Plant Beach Family Kitchen. Hi, and welcome to another episode of my Plant Beach Family Kitchen. And in today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to make nut milk. And if you have not tried homemade nut milk, stop everything you're doing, go to the store, get these ingredients, and make it, because there is nothing like homemade nut milk. The stuff in the store that you buy, it's okay. It can, it's definitely a time saver, and for that, definitely. Like I like to buy the New Barn almond milk. It's got the most quality ingredients and the least amount of ingredients. So if I'm baking or something like that, I'll use that. But today I want to show you how to make nut milks, and I'm going to give you the template to do that, because there's really not a recipe, there's really a ratio. And if you remember the ratio, you are good to go. The ratios and the method in which to make it. So I'm going to teach you how to do a full nut milk where you actually use the bag and strain it. And then I'm going to teach you how to make a quick nut milk and then turn that into a chocolate nut milk. So this episode is awesome. So sit back, grab your notepad, and let's go. Okay, first, soaking your nuts is important. Today I'm actually going to make Brazil nut milk. These are Brazil nuts, okay? And what you want to do is you actually want to soak them. Every nut for nut milk, you want to soak them. And the reason why is because you're soaking them to get out the impurities. You're turning the nut from a dormant state into a alive state. It's shedding the impurities and it's becoming a live product, because nuts are typically in a dormant state. So you want to soak them overnight and drain off the water and rinse them. You do not want to keep the soak water because it's got all the impurities in it. And how do you tell if it's soaked enough? Well, one way to do that is to look the middle. The middle will be nice and wet. It won't be dry in the middle. But typically what I like to do is I like to soak them overnight, and then they're ready to go if I'm going to use them in the morning. Or I like to take a big bunch of them, soak them, and if you're not ready to use it, or if you run out of time, just put them in the freezer and then you can pull them out when you're ready to make the nut milk. Okay, so in here we're going to do Brazil nuts, but I want to talk to you about all these other nuts. Almonds, pecans, macadamia nuts, hemp seeds. So I'm going to put a little hemp seed in there just because I want to bump up the nutrition, okay? So these are all the nuts that you could use. You could use seeds. You can do pumpkin seed. So the ratio that you want to think about is 1 cup of nuts to 4 cups of water or coconut water. The only exception to that rule is macadamia nuts. This is a 1 cup of macadamia nuts to 3 cups of water. And just because the nut is a little less dense and it becomes a little watery if you do 4. So, so there you go. And you can add things to it. For instance, so right here we got Brazil nuts, and then I'm going to add my 4 cups of water. But because I had a coconut opened up today, I'm going to put some coconut water in there, and this really does sweeten it up. Okay, so I'm going to put the water of 1 coconut, but if you don't have coconut, you just do the ratio of 4 cups of water to 1 cup of nuts. Now, because I put coconut water there and it is sweeter, I'm only going to use half the amount of dates. And if you want it sweeter, obviously you can put more dates in. Typically, if I'm using the water, I'll do 3 to 4 dates with 4 cups of water and 1 cup of nuts. Okay, so, but because I'm using the coconut water, again, less dates. So I'm going to just move this stuff to get it out of the way. Also, something I like to do is add a vanilla bean right in here. And because we're going to strain it, there's no need to just take the seeds out. You can just throw it into your blender. And if you wanted to make a turmeric milk, now's the time you would add turmeric in there. So, okay, so many different ways to make nut milk, but this is the basic way. Okay, so let me put the lid on and the blender's gonna come on. All right, and so after your blender has completely pulverized everything in there, and that's what you want, it's ready. So I like a nut milk bag. You can buy them online, of course. If you don't have a nut milk bag and you're inspired to make this today, then just use a strainer with some cheesecloth in it, or you can just use the strainer and strain it a couple times. So I've done all of that. But I want you to see how beautiful this is. Again, Brazil nut's my favorite. Of course, almond milk is amazing, the macadamia nut milk. And you could take these milks and you can, you know, pair them with chia, or you could make ice creams from them, or just drink it. Okay, so here's the work. You know, you have to squeeze out all the milk in here. So it's taken a little bit of effort, but it's well worth it. And one thing you want to think about is it is fresh and the nuts are soaked. So after you make it, about 3 to 4 days in the fridge is probably the shelf life. But typically in my house, when we make nut milk, it's gone by that day. There was a time there that I was making nut milk. I have 4 children and they're completely plant-based and vegan. And so all of this I make at home. And there was a time there, you know, you ebb and flow. There was the time there I was making nut milk every day and it was gone by the end of the night, and the next morning I'd make it again and make it again, and then finally I was like, oh, I'm done making nut milk for a while. But just like anything else in the kitchen, sometimes you get into something and you're making it often, like nut cheeses. I was making those for a while there, and then sometimes you just get off of it and then you don't make it as much. But nut milk is something we do have to make often, because if we want it, the only way that I drink nut milk is if I make it homemade like this. I don't really drink the stuff that you buy. But luckily I'm going to show you what we do often is make the nut milk that is a quick nut milk, which is coming up. So anyways, I like to rinse the blender. And from here, I'll usually pour it back in the blender just so I have a way to pour it. And then from here, I like to pour it into, I need to get a container, 1 second. Okay, I like to pour it into a container. And I would like to say that I would keep this for myself, but you and I know that's not true. As soon as I'm done here, these kids will come running from downstairs and they will drink all the nut milk, but I'm gonna take a sip now. It's so good. It's so good. It's amazing. You definitely have to make this. Okay, so that's made. Now next up is quick nut milk. And this is, you know, we do this often if I'm trying to just, you know, put it with chia or, you know, just going quick. So typically the ratio is 1 heaping tablespoon for about 1 to 1 1/4 cups of water. Okay, so that's like the ratio here. So I'm going to do 3 cups. So 1, 2, and this is a sprouted almond butter that I get from Glacier Farms, Organic Farms down in Miami. And they got really good nut butters. Okay, so about 3, a little more than 3, but 3. Okay, next, what you want to do here is you want to add the 3 cups of water. Oh, look at that, right there. Then I like to add, where this is quick, so you could scrape the vanilla bean and put it in there if you wanted to, but since it's quick, we're just doing a little bit of vanilla extract, okay, and a little bit of maple syrup, okay, because we want to sweeten it up just a touch, and a tiny little pinch of salt. Not very much, just a little bit. Okay. And then you would blend that. And right there is your quick nut milk, and I'm going to show you it's still nice white in color. It tastes like nut milk, very good. So what I want to teach you now is the fun stuff. How do I take this and to turn it into something amazing is my chocolate milk. So 3 cups of nut milk, 1/4 cup of cacao powder, raw cacao powder, about 1/4 cup and a tablespoon or 2 of maple syrup. I like to do another like a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and about 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Now you can blend that, and this will give you a basic chocolate milk. Okay, so this now I want to show you is just a basic chocolate milk. It's very delicious. It looks like that. Yeah, you could add ice to that. Now to take it a step further, if you want it multi, like a chocolate milk with like multi flavors, I like to add some maca powder. And of course the health benefits are off the charts, right? We have the cacao powder, which does have caffeine in it, so that would be the only negative if you consider that a negative. And but the rest, it's got manganese and magnesium, and it's got all kinds of antioxidants. We know that, right? This maca powder is good for circulation and all kinds of good stuff, okay? So a little bit of that is, now you can just blend that and stop there. But especially for those of you who are in the colder weather right now, just the spices I'm about to tell you in this chocolate milk alone, well, you drink it and you get warmed from the inside out. So it's a really great drink to have. It's warming, you know, it's very warming. So, okay, so we have our chocolate milk base and the maca powder. Again, you could stop there and it would be a multi chocolate milk. Or you can add, these are some fun spices, so cinnamon, a little cardamom, a little cayenne, ancho chili, and chipotle. Yum. Okay. And now we'll blend that. Okay. I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Now I'm going to taste it for you. That's the ticket. This is delicious. Make it today. There's nothing stopping you. It's healthy, delicious. It's great for the cold weather. It's delicious. I'm going to curl up and enjoy this, and I'll see you in our next episode. Please be sure to subscribe, like us, tell your friends about it. The more of you that respond, the more we want to keep doing these videos. Thank you and have a great day. Happy vegan!